This story begins in a European kingdom ruled by a wise king who has two sons, Hawk and Leonard. One day the king falls gravely ill. The royal physician reveals that the king's brain is gradually ceasing to function, and immediate treatment is urgently required. He also says that the king has only a few days left. Hearing this, the king calls both his sons and says that he wants to announce his successor before his death. Then his elder son Hawk comes forward and says that he is the elder, so he is eligible to become the king. Leonard politely says that first the king's health should improve, then the succession should be discussed. The king tells both of them that it is very important to decide the successor now. Just then, the servant Brenner standing there says that the king's illness can be cured. He tells everyone that he has heard that there is a magical palace in a faraway forest, where there is a water that cures every disease when drunk. Hearing this, Hawk laughs loudly and says that all this is nonsense and folklore. But Leonard seriously says that he will go to find that water. Then Hawk stops him and says that he is bigger, he knows better swordsmanship, and can deal with any danger, so he will go first. Leonard suggests that the two should go together, but Hawk rejects his suggestion. He prepares to go alone to the magical castle. Brenner warns him that evil spirits live in the dark forest, but Hawk arrogantly replies that he is a servant and should not forget his place. Then he rides on his horse, kicks another servant Gunther, and leaves from there. This makes it clear that Hawk is not a good prince. Hawk soon reaches that mysterious forest. After walking some distance, he sees strange cross marks on the trees. On the other hand, Leonard is busy taking care of his father. Then the doctor brings a medicine made of many herbs, but Leonard refuses to give it. He says that they should wait for Hawk to return. Saying this, he sends the doctor back from there. Here in the forest, an angel named Salva appears to Hawk in the form of a beggar. She asks him for some bread to eat, but Hawk looks at her with disdain and flatly refuses to give her the bread. He says that she is not telling him the way to the magical palace and instead is begging him. Then he arrogantly says that he is going to become the king soon, and after that he will have her thrown out of this forest. Salva falls silent and calmly tells him to find the way to the magical palace himself. As soon as Hawk leaves, Salva releases mist from her mouth. The mist spreads all around and Hawk cannot see anything. While wandering, he accidentally falls into a deep dry drain and falls unconscious. After some time, his horse returns to the palace alone. Brenner gets worried seeing this and tells Leonard that it seems his elder brother is lost somewhere in the forest. Meanwhile, the king's condition starts getting worse. Now Leonard decides that he will go to get the magic water himself, but Brenner offers to accompany him. But Leonard rides his horse alone and sets out towards the mysterious forest. When Leonard reaches the forest, he also meets the same angel named Salva, who had appeared to Hawk earlier. She also asks him for some bread in the guise of a beggar. But Leonard, who was a good man at heart, gives her all his food without a second thought. Salva smiles and says that she knows Leonard is looking for the magic palace. Then she tells him the way to reach there. Along with this, she warns him that he will have to fight evil forces on the way. Leonard asks him who he is. Salva replies that he is from the forces of good, and that those forces have kept the magic water safe in that palace. Salva also tells him that he will find a lion at the palace gate. If he puts food in that lion's mouth, the palace gate will open automatically. When Leonard asks him about his brother, Salva becomes serious and says that Hawk is now trapped in the web of evil forces. After this, Leonard thanks Salva wholeheartedly and moves toward the magical palace. Leonard reaches near a dense tree, and then at a short distance he sees the door of the magical palace. There is a statue of a lion in front of the palace, whose mouth is open. Then he remembers Salva's words. Without wasting time, he takes out a piece of food that he had with him and puts it in the lion's mouth. As soon as he puts the piece in the statue's mouth, the huge door of the palace slowly starts opening. Leonard bravely enters the palace. The scene inside is horrifying. All the people there have turned into stone statues. While roaming in the streets of the palace, his eyes fall on a painting, which is of the palace's Princess Frederica. Moving forward, he sees a soldier who is moving slowly. When Leonard goes to him, he finds that there is nothing inside his armor. Seeing this, he understands that this castle is in the possession of evil spirits, and all this has happened due to some curse. Finally, he reaches a room where Princess Frederica is fast asleep. He tries to wake her up, but the curse has an effect on her, and she does not wake up. Then Leonard remembers another thing that Salva had said, that there will be a person there with whom you will have to talk with your lips. Leonard gently kisses the princess. At that very moment, the curse of the princess is broken and she wakes up. As soon as she opens her eyes, she gets angry at Leonard and asks him how dare he kiss her. Leonard calmly tells her the truth. After hearing the truth, the princess starts remembering everything. She says that it has been a year since she slept here. Then she asks Leonard why he has come here. Leonard tells that he has come to get magic water for his sick father. Hearing this, the princess becomes serious. She says that getting the water is not as easy as he thinks. She takes him to a basement of the palace and tells him that before reaching the magical water, they will have to end the curse on this palace. For this, they will have to pass 3 tests. Both of them reach a dark cave. There the princess says that if Leonard fails in any test, he will also turn into stone, like the people of this palace, and she herself will go into the same cursed sleep again. After this, both of them reach the end of the cave, where there is a deep well. There was magic water hidden inside the well, but evil forces had locked it away. Leonard asks the princess why they did that. The princess explains that the good forces wanted the water to help all sick people, but the evil forces did not accept this. They cursed the entire castle and dried up the water in the well, so that no one could use it. The princess then asks Leonard to remove a stone slab kept nearby. As soon as he removes it, a door appears underneath. Both of them enter inside it, and there they see a puzzle. The puzzle consists of numbers made of wood, in which the sum of 2 digits is written. Now they just have to move or replace one stick, so that the sum of those 2 numbers equals the 3rd number. Leonard looks at the puzzle carefully and places the stick in the right place. As soon as he gets the answer right, he gets a glass bottle. He takes it and comes back through the door and pours the water from the bottle into the well. Then another door opens and Leonard goes inside it. This time he reaches a room where he sees a box. As soon as he opens the box, the walls of the room start shrinking. He knew that he has very little time now. He quickly looks around the room and with the help of a clue finds the 2nd vial behind a painting. He takes the vial and rushes out the door, just as the walls are about to crash into each other. As Leonard comes out with the 2nd vial, the princess becomes worried about his well-being. Slowly, an unspoken affection develops between the two, which soon turns into love. They put the 2nd vial in the well as well, which makes the water shine even more. After this, the princess tells that the last test is the most difficult, where he will have to face evil spirits. Then the 3rd door opens. Leonard enters that door alone, and this time he reaches directly to his palace. There his father appears completely healthy. The king smiles and says that he is now all right because Leonard has passed all 3 tests. His older brother Hawk also stands there, who congratulates Leonard and admits that he failed, even though Leonard has brought the magic water and given his father new life. But then the princess's voice echoes, warning that this is all an illusion. She shouts that Leonard should not pay attention to these spirits and find the 3rd vial. The king and Hawk standing in front are actually evil spirits who want to distract him and make him fail the final test. They say that Leonard is going to become the new king, but at the same time the sound of a clock is heard, which indicates the end of time. Hearing this, Leonard understands that all this is a hoax. As soon as he regains consciousness, the scene changes and all the shadows disappear. He soon finds the 3rd bottle lying in front of him. He takes it, walks out the door, and drops it into the well. Once all 3 tests are completed, the magic water starts flowing again. Leonard quickly fills his bottle with the water. He promises the princess that he will return soon and marry her. As Leonard leaves the magical castle, a piece of his clothing gets caught in the castle door and gets torn. Meanwhile, Princess Friederike uses magic water to bring life to all the stone statues in the castle, one by one. As soon as the last statue comes to life, the curse on the castle is lifted and life returns to the surroundings. When the princess comes out, she sees a piece of Leonard's cloth stuck in the door. She picks it up and keeps it with her. Leonard is returning to the palace when on the way he finds his brother Hawk lying seriously injured and unconscious on the riverbank. He panics and immediately takes out the magic water from his bottle and sprinkles it on Hawk. Within a few moments, Hawk regains his breath and gets up. Leonard is very happy to see him and tells his brother that he has brought life-giving water from the magic palace. Hearing this, Hawk's face turns pale and he is filled with fear, thinking that now the king will make Leonard his successor. Due to this fear and jealousy, Hawk thinks of a trick in his mind. As soon as Leonard goes some distance to fetch his horse, Hawk secretly takes out the real magic water from Leonard's bottle and fills it in his own bottle, and in return pours dirty river water into Leonard's bottle. After this, both the brothers reach the palace. Leonard confidently hands over his bottle to the king and gives him water. But after drinking a few sips, the king starts writhing in pain. He screams and says, "This water is like poison." Then Hawk immediately comes forward and says that perhaps the water I have is real. He gives the king some magical water from his bottle, and in a few moments the king is completely healthy. He hugs Hawk and says, "You have saved my life and you will be my true heir." Leonard, standing on the other side, is stunned. He slowly starts to understand that his brother has betrayed him and taken away his hard work, his sacrifice, everything. Both Leonard and Hawk leave the king in his room to rest and come out. Leonard asks his brother why he poured dirty sewer water into his bottle when he was the one who cured him with magic water. Hawk shamelessly replies that he wanted to be king, so he did it. He further says that when he becomes king, he will give Leonard a good job looking after the horses in the stable. Hearing this, Leonard becomes angry and immediately rushes to his father's room to tell him the whole truth. Hawk tries to stop him, and both of them once again reach the king's room, where a heated argument begins between them. Hearing their voices, the palace doctor arrives and scolds them, saying that the king needs rest now, so both of them should leave immediately. Meanwhile, in the magical palace, Princess Frederica starts worrying about Leonard because he has not returned yet. So she decides to go to Leonard's palace herself. Meanwhile, in the palace, Hawk plays a new trick. He goes to his father and says that he has heard that Leonard now wants to kill them so that he can take over the entire kingdom. The king is angry after listening to him and says that all this is nonsense. Then Hawk shows Leonard the dirty water from his bottle and says that he has tried to harm you before as well. But the king is still not ready to believe this. Then Hawk shows the king a book which he had secretly taken from Leonard's library. He says that this book contains recipes for making many types of poisons, and if nothing is done in time, Leonard can harm anyone. The king becomes worried and says that Leonard should be banished from the kingdom. But Huck immediately says that just banishing him will do no good, because he can come back again. So he suggests that Leonard and Brenner be sent to the forest on a hunting trip, where Brenner shoots him. The king, who was now under the influence of evil spirits, agrees with Hawk. On his orders, both Leonard and Brenner leave for the forest to hunt. Hawk keeps an eye on both of them through a telescope. In the forest, Leonard asks Brenner why he is so quiet today. Brenner was a noble and loyal servant, so he tells the whole truth to Leonard that Hawk has ordered him to kill him. But he also says he would never do that and suggests Leonard leave the state immediately. Brenner fires a bullet in the air to trick Hawk into thinking Leonard has been killed. Hawk smiles and goes to his father, telling him Brenner did his job. The king's heart breaks because he had ordered his own son to be killed. While wandering in the forest, Leonard once again meets the same fairy Salva. Salva reminds him that he had freed the magical water by defeating the evil forces of the palace. Leonard expresses his gratitude to her and accepts that all this was possible only with her help. Salva warns him that the battle is not over yet. The forces of evil still hold sway over the castle. Leonard despairs and says that he cannot return to the castle now that Hawk is going to be king. At the same time, preparations for Hawk's coronation were going on in full swing in the palace. At that time, Leonard, wrapped in an old blanket, quietly returns to the palace and asks for help from his faithful servant Gunther. Meanwhile, Princess Frederica is passing through the forest. Then the fairy Salva appears in her path and tells her the way to Leonard's palace. Saying this, she again disappears in the air. In the palace, the king stands in front of his entire subjects and announces that his elder son Hawk has contributed to curing his illness. It is because of him that he is alive and standing on his feet today. So he chooses Hawk as his successor and declares him the new king of the kingdom. As the king moves forward to crown Hawk, the princess arrives there. She tells the king that she wants to thank his son Leonard because he freed her palace from the curse. She reveals that Leonard had even proposed to her. The king calls the princess to him. As soon as the princess sees Hawk, she is shocked and tells the king that the one who came to the palace was her young son, the one who freed them from the curse. Hawk tries to lie again and says that he was the one who went to the magical palace and brought the magic water. But the princess quickly catches his lie and shows the king a torn piece of Leonard's cloak stuck at the castle door. The king realizes the truth and realizes that Hawk deceived him and mistakenly ordered his youngest son to be killed. In a serious tone, the king says that Hawk will be given a harsh punishment for his actions. Then Leonard arrives there and stands in front of everyone. The princess recognizes him and tells him that this is the young man who saved them. The king deeply regrets his mistake and rectifies his mistake and declares Leonard his successor. After becoming the king, Leonard gives the responsibility of looking after the horse stables to Hawk and tells him that he will work under Guntur. He appoints his loyal servant Brenner as the minister and also announces his marriage to the princess. With this lovely story reaches its happy ending. I'm a hard-working creator supporting my family, giving my all in every video. If you like my work, please subscribe. Your support means everything and keeps me going. You can also super chat me if you'd like. Thank you so much.